So technology is ever evolving, even in the world of chocolate. Is there a recent advancement or technique that has revolutionized your approach to chocolate making?
As I said earlier, so 3D printing is coming in in a big way into chocolate, and 3D printing will revolutionize chocolate. At the same time, it will. It's really something like what you're talking about AI. Otherwise, it's really going to change a lot of things in the industry. So we need to gear up for that. We need to gear up and say, if you can make your chocolate at home, then why would you buy it from me?
But I believe this 3D thing could be time consuming, right? Probably it requires days to.
But technology is changing, right?
Yeah.
How much chocolate do you need?
Okay.
Imagine you need chocolate in the morning, you print it in the evening, and it's ready in the morning. Okay, technology is not there yet, but it is, a lot of things are happening. But technology is not just in that. Technology is also in terms of how you're making the chocolate. So today, the delta or the differences between, if you want X, sometimes the machine tolerance would be X plus something. Those tolerances are coming down.
Okay.
So now it gives you a better product. So if you want a 1 micron, whatever, so then it helps that the machine is able to do it for you today. Machines are becoming a little more tech enabled where they stop on their own if things are not going right. A lot of stuff which you're doing with machines today where it required manual intervention, maybe the machine will do. But most importantly, machines are now scaling down. So I can do small batch automation. I'm not in the large batch industry. I'm not making thousands of kilos of chocolate. I'm making a few kilos of chocolate because my customers are that kind of. So we have automation coming into that also, into that where we can do that. We're getting ingredients coming in, which enable chocolate to actually become better. So with the inclusions and all that, or for example, colors. We use natural colors. Natural colors are getting better. So earlier, artificial colors would look very nice. Natural colors look very dull because that's all you can. Today, that's it's getting better. So technology is helping there. Technology is helping in terms of flavors because now natural flavors are coming in. Or for example, in natural colors, you used to get residue taste. So a yellow, maybe it has some turmeric taste or whatever. So that is also going now. So a lot of technology is not happening just in the industry that I am in, but in the suppliers who supply to me, which enables me to do better.
It's a lot of improvisation.
And technology, I think, also is nothing to relate it to food. Just the technology that is coming in logistics has enabled my industry to grow.
Fantastic.
The fact that I can send a box of chocolate from here to Srinagar confidently today was impossible in 2020 or 2019. If you had asked me to send a box of chocolates from here to Srinagar, I would have just said no. Today I send boxes all across the country. So technology is not just about the chocolate. Technology is about everything around us, which is enabling us, or enabling us if we leverage it to do a better job of what we are doing.
Jakobi beautifully blends your love for the outdoors with the world of chocolate. How do these seemingly distant passions come together to influence your brand and its delightful creations?
As I said, Jakobi gives me freedom. And I'm an avid cyclist. I love cycling. So when friends call me in the morning, they know I'm on a cycle. It's ass. Cycling gives me the freedom. I love the outdoors. And this is just an extension, if you ask me. At the same time, Jakobi is something which I can eat while I'm cycling also. Because it gives me the energy. So I concord products which probably I have when I'm cycling to see whether it is helping me. But the love for the outdoors is what gives me the freedom and the sanity to take any pressure in. So you get up in the morning on a Sunday, you do 100 kilometers of cycling, and your head is clear as because
fresh.
You're fresh because maybe the first few kilometers you can think of many things. After that, your brain needs it for cycling. So it's
Okay.
crystal clear.
I've never tried long distance though.
No,
I do
any
cycling.
sport. So,
Yeah.
for example, even river rafting.
Mhm.
So, when I mentioned that we had a product which it took 7 months to develop,
Okay.
the eureka moment came when I was doing river rafting in Rishikesh.
Mm.
And it just, I don't know what happened. Suddenly it clicked that this is what needed to be done.
Okay.
I remember calling right then and there to the factory, telling the person,
Yeah.
try this, it'll work.
Okay.
And then she called me back about 2 hours later and said, yes, it'll work. Where are you? I said, I am on the Ganges. so,
Great.
so the outdoor gives you perspective.
Yeah.
Another thing which the outdoor does is the ability to imbibe natural flavors and textures into your product.
Okay.
Because you see so much of it. You see so much of the possibilities that can happen. So can we blend simple things like a cardamom and cinnamon and
Exactly.
how do you do that? How much of it do you need? And Kerala has a lot of these things. So can we bring in a nyavara, the rice into a chocolate? Can we create those stories where ingredients are being used from within? All this would happen only if you love the outdoors, only if you're moving out, only if you're seeing what is happening.
And obviously your passion also.
I'm passionate about it, and you cannot just sit in a room and expect things to come to you. In this age of the internet, everyone assumes you sit and open your computer.
You got it. Google
You will
is going to
see
give you
it.
everything.
You will see it.
Yeah.
You will not feel it. For me, feeling is very important.
Yeah.
So the outdoor is important. I love doing anything outdoor.
So it's quite natural that you're seeing, all these things, that you experience it, you understand it, and then you implement it. It's
Yeah,
natural thing. Yeah.
It has to be a long. You can see. You cannot have shortcuts, right? You need to be prepared to go the whole 9 yards, as they say. Where some things will work, some things will not work.
It's not like just taking from the textbook and trying and do
Everyone would be a chocolatier,
Yeah,
right?
exactly,
If it was
yes.
that simple, then there are so many books available. Why
Very
not just
true,
read
yeah.
and make a chocolate?
Exactly.
Why would you need to
happens.
buy
Yeah.
chocolates from us or anyone else?
That's an awesome thing that you're doing there. Okay. We all know chocolate has the power to make people smile, right? Okay. So can you share a particular heartwarming story of someone experiencing Jakobi chocolate for the first time?
I think more than that, I think a lot of our customers are people who initially told me that they don't eat chocolate.
Okay.
And so we were driving through the Himalayas once, and a friend's nephew and me,
Okay.
and he had told me that he doesn't eat chocolate. As simple as that. And while he was driving, I was giving him the chocolate, which is an orange peel with dark chocolate wrapped around it.
I love that flavor.
And so I just gave it to him. So initially he told me it doesn't eat, and I knew he doesn't eat. So he took one piece, put it into his mouth. And then suddenly I see his hand coming out again. And I looked at him, and 5-10 minutes later the packet was empty.
Empty.
Then I asked him, I said, how come? He said, I love this chocolate.
No.
Or children when they eat lollipops.
Okay.
As I said, it's a transition, it's a moment in time. Happiness is not, so you need to catch that expression. So if I give you a chocolate and you're eating it, I'm really observant. I just want to catch that few milliseconds in your face, on your face. That gives me the joy or makes everything worthwhile. No? That
Fantastic.
So it's not just an happiness. As I said, chocolate is not a product. Chocolate is an experience. Chocolate is something which should allow you to transient into something else. If you're having a bad day, chocolate should allow you to take a break from it. If you're having a good day, chocolate should allow you to enjoy the day.
Fantastic.
And personally for me, depending on what I'm going through, chocolate tastes different. The same chocolate tastes
Different.
very different.
Situations. Yeah.
I don't know how it is for others.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm
No,
overthinking
probably,
it.
I think it could be true because we all eat chocolates, and we know at times in certain situations or circumstances, like when you're going for parties and all that, it's totally different. Probably the mind field that is capturing this flavor of giving the difference of taste for the same chocolate even.
It is different.
Exactly.
Also, see, if people believe in what you're doing, It's like Paul Coelho has said, right? If the universe believes you're doing something hard enough, then it conspires to make it happen for you. And chocolate for me is, I think, something like that, because everyone now knows I'm a crazy chocolatier who, given an opportunity to talk about chocolate, will not shut up till he's told to keep quiet.
That's great.
But given that, giving chocolate out, I'm always asked, why do you give out chocolate like this to people to eat? You're sampling chocolates, money, it's cost. I keep getting these questions.
Okay.
I said, at the end of the day, the objective of it is to spread happiness, it's to spread joy. And I'm confident that when we give products to eat, people will come back and buy the product. Because if they're not, then the product is not good enough. So it's a very different take. I'm confident that the product will make you come back and buy more. If it is not, I need to do something better with the product. It's not good enough for you to come back and buy it.
Got it.
So we try working on that. A lot of our customers are repeat customers. A lot of our customers share expressions with me personally about their experiences with the chocolate. Simple things. I'll tell you something which a customer wrote back to me when we started, and this was for Diwali gifting. He's been gifting gifts for the last 10 years to his clients and everyone. And that particular year, he had taken boxes of chocolates from us. And I believe clients called him back to thank him. So he called me. He said, Jakob, for the first time in 10 years, I actually had people calling and thanking me for a Diwali gift.
That's a great.
So what was there in your chocolate? So I said, it was good chocolate. No, now people call up and say the boxes that you've given in are so nice, we use it for our jewelry.
Oh yeah.
So we see Jakobi every day. And I met someone the other day, casually, and so the first question, so we were generally talking, and I said, I'm chocolate. I said, are you Jakob? I said, yeah. And he said, you fit that description to the T of what my friend told me. So I said, who's this friend of yours? This friend was exactly another friend of mine who gives chocolate to him every Diwali and every Christmas.
I see.
And I believe he had introduced me as this person or whoever this is.
Okay.
He said, you fit that to the T. So there was no way that you could be anyone else.
Okay, great.
So I think you work on a lot of... See, a business is important. The revenue generation is important. You need to make a profit, all that. I think they are all outcomes. They are outcomes if you're doing your job well. That will happen.
It will happen, yeah.
What gives you the joy is not that.
Okay.
What gives you the joy, in fact, I quoted this somewhere else. Everyone says success gives you happiness.
Okay.
For me, it's the other way around. Happiness gives you success.
Yeah. That's great. That's great. That's fantastic, yeah. Your dedication to pushing boundaries with new flavors is a true testament to your adventurous spirit. What exciting new concoctions or concepts are brewing in the Jakobi kitchen?
Something is brewing every day.
Oh, right.
As I said earlier, we are trying to push boundaries. So what are we doing for Onam? So Onam in Kerala is banana chips, jaggery.
Okay.
What do you do with chocolate and that? So that's something we did last year.
All right.
Christmas is plum cake.
Okay.
So now, what can chocolate do in a plum cake?
A Christmas plum cake. Okay.
So you keep jackfruit is something people like, and I've got multiple requests saying, do something with jack. Or you have a lot of other things that I say, rice, a lot of things are up. So what can I do with all these where you blend it with chocolate? And it's difficult because we don't use flavors. We don't use artificial flavors. We don't use we use the fruit. We use preserves.
That's right. It's natural.
So it's very difficult because if you're putting a flavor, it's very easy to make anything.
Exactly.
Just add
fruit spirit. Yeah, that's it.
Because here the problem is every fruit changes the consistency of what you're trying to do. Season changes, fruit changes. So there's a lot of work.
You need to pick the particular.
You need to be very. You need to be very finicky about the ingredients that you're using. Wherein if we fix something, as simple as if we fix that this is the milk powder that we are going to use, that cannot be changed.
Okay.
Even by me.
Mm.
Then it has to go back into the drawing. So if at all we have a shortage, we have to go back to the drawing board, try out the new milk powder, see if it is working well, and then so a lot of new products being tried. What do we do with paisams? But I think a lot of requests have come now asking for products. Chocolate is very, very temperature sensitive. It melts. A good chocolate will melt, so there's no choice. A lot of our clients want something which they can put into a gift hamper and send out. So we're trying to work on a few products there also.
Okay.
Not at the liberty to discuss it because they are not groundbreaking, but they are products which probably are not there in the market today.
Okay.
There again, it's trust, because I had customers tell me, give me something Jakobi that I can put into a hamper. So what do you mean, give me something Jakobi? I said, chocolate we know cannot go into the hamper because it melts. But the minute we know that you put your name on it, we know that it will adhere to a certain set of quality standards and taste parameters, etc.
Okay.
So figure out whatever it is, give us a product, we will give you the order. So we're working on some ambient products. We're trying to see whether we can do something, go the extra mile as I call it, in creating. I'll give you a simple thing. We designed a product a week ago, and everyone passed it, saying great.
Fantastic, yeah.
And
So
yesterday,
what do you feel when you get that, like the taster says it's good, you being the taster as well. So what is that feeling that
I'll just complete this. So then we had another, I got another iteration which came into my head, and then we did a trial and we had a tasting session yesterday. And it was splendid.
Fantastic, yeah.
And then when we ate what we had all passed last week, after eating this, they said no. So now, that's what I'm saying. So that extra, we did very little extra. I'm not joking. It's such a minuscule thing that we've done additionally to what we did last week.
Okay.
But it has changed the product. So it's like what I said earlier, right? So if you don't go that extra mile, I will be bringing out products which are just okay products. They're good, but I'm not giving you something special.
Understood, yeah.
And we strive for that special. So all the trials we do are based on that.
Okay.
I constantly get complaints in the factory. So the number of trials we do and the amount of chocolate. So let's eat. What else do we do?
I think I should come and work in your factory.
Oh yeah, all my friends look at my hand when I walk in. Do you have chocolate with you? Because even my auditor.
Where is your factory?
In Chocolatier.
Okay.
So everyone actually tells me that they want chocolate. But yeah.
So ethical sourcing and sustainability are crucial issues in the chocolate industry. How does Jakobi ensure its journey from bean to bar is paved with responsibility and care for the environment and farmers?
So two things to that. One is today when we buy our chocolate, we look at whether they are fair trade chocolate and all that. So it has to come under a certain set of certifications. That is because the raw chocolate which we buy probably goes from Africa, South America, Belgium, comes to us. So there's a lot of work which happens on that.
Okay.
We're trying to work locally and say as I mentioned earlier, is the fermentation okay? If the fermentation is not okay, what extra needs to be done?
Okay.
How do you compensate someone adequately for that?
Okay.
How do they understand the value of what they're doing? So if you take cocoa generally across the world today, the cocoa farmers have no clue about the product that comes out of that.
Okay.
So you need to make them understand how the small things they do affects the product at the end. So that is something which we are trying to, we're not doing much of it, but we need to start connecting, and we're trying to do a lot of stuff there.
Understood, yeah.
Sustainability is actually packaging, which we have an issue, and we have an issue. There's no two ways about it, because when we send products out, we have to send it in thermocol boxes, which are not recyclable, definitely reusable. which has to go with ice packs, again reusable. We are reducing plastics, etc. But we have through a company called Cultino, which is into crowdsourcing of solutions. So I'm part of that. It's 4 friends who've started it as a social enterprise for innovation.
Okay.
Through that, we've thrown out a challenge for sustainable packaging last mile.
Okay.
And we keep getting solutions from the jute industry, from Indian Institute of Packaging. So a lot of lot of college students, etc., working on trying to figure out something sustainable for us.
Okay.
But I still have a long way there, I'll be honest. So because today when the product goes out, if I'm sending a box of chocolates out to Bangalore, it has to go into a thermocol box.
Understood.
It has to have its ice packs.
Yeah.
There's just no two ways about it. However little I like it, that's just the way it is.
Okay.
We're not sitting on it in the sense we're looking at improvements. We do trials every day. My sister is very fortunate because she lives in Gurgaon.
Okay.
So every time we do a trial, she gets a box of chocolate. It's either melted or not melted, but she will get a box of chocolate.
Okay.
So we send boxes to close friends, etc. But we're working on something there. Hopefully something would come about.
Yeah.
Maybe in the next few months, we'll have something ready.
Okay. Let it happen. Yeah. So as the newly elected president of TiE, that's a different story there, that is TiE Kerala, what are the key initiatives or areas of focus you plan to introduce or expand upon the foster entrepreneurship in the region?
See, TiE is about entrepreneurship, and all of us as charter members are here to give back to the community at large. I strongly feel that Kerala has a very negative narrative.
Okay.
Where to talk to anyone about entrepreneurship or an industry in Kerala, immediately is like, oh, Kerala, how does things work? So I think we need to work at changing the narrative of Kerala and make it positive. That needs to be done.
Yeah.
2, we need to identify what is happening or what are the nuances in the state where we can actually contribute. Kerala has an aging population. We all know that.
Yeah.
But we know that we are good at education. We know that we are good in healthcare. We know we can work on R&D. Because of education, we can work on R&D. We have an aging population, so assisted living is something which is coming in. And technology and agriculture is something which can be done. So we're trying to focus through a project, TiE, we call it Project TiE, from last year. We're trying to work over the next 3 years to actually commit on these 5 sectors and create opinions on it, white papers on it, and create measurable goals towards which we can actually work by getting entrepreneurs, students, bureaucracy, politicians, everyone involved in this process. Thereby hoping that the narrative of Kerala can be made positive, because I think we need to change the narrative if we want more industries or anything to happen in Kerala. We need to be cognizant of the fact that Kerala just cannot have a large industry. We don't have the space for it. But if you're talking about R&D, we have great colleges here. We have so R&D is a natural extension for companies to come and set up base. Can we collaborate between research institutions and companies? Can we have, for example, increase yield in agriculture? Can we do that? Education, can we break boundaries in education rather than just have the usual things? So a lot of things are being worked on that. Working with students through TiE University, working with school students with TiE Young Entrepreneurs, TiE Women. So multifaceted, giving mentorship, and we do, for example, investment to companies who can. So you're creating an ecosystem, but then what about those industries which already exist and who want to go to the next level? So everyone talks about startup.
Exactly.
What about those entrepreneurs who are already here? Because if you look at Kerala, most of the businesses are small or medium who want to go to the next level.
Exactly.
So can we do something there where we can actually inject growth into those industries to go to the next level?
Okay.
So these are the things which probably I've just spoken very broadly. But hopefully these are things which we will try and tackle and get some. It's not a 1 year process. It's a continuing. It's an ongoing process, which all my predecessors have done before me, and I will try and do justice to that and continue doing that.
Fantastic. Yeah. So, what are some of your passions outside the world of chocolate that inspire you or influence your creativity?
As I said earlier, I think cycling is the single thing I do the most after chocolate. So I did go and do London, Edinburgh 2 years ago cycling, but was supposed to do 1,500, but I did only 780 or whatever.
So,
but that inspires you. It allows you to measure failure. It allows you to rethink and say, okay, why did I stop it when I've still not seen a reason for it. So I try to see life through sport because sport is something which you perform well today, you win today, you lose tomorrow.
Yes, yeah.
You pick yourself up and move on.
Yeah.
Life is exactly the same. So the ability to pick ourselves up when we are down or when we lose is something which sport teaches you on a regular basis.
Exactly. Yes.
So I love sport. As I said, I'm an outdoor guy.
Okay.
And cycling is, but anything outdoor. You ask me to go kayaking or anything, I'm game for
anything, any activity like that.
And that keeps. So I don't know if I'm quoting it right, but I said the insanity that I have elsewhere keeps the sanity in my normal life.
So something to remember.
So you do a lot of things out where cycling, you're pushing yourself, where people will say, "Are you mad?"
Yeah.
But that insanity is what kind of keeps you
going.
Keeps a smile, I think.
Keeps you energized and all that. Yeah.
I think you stop taking things too seriously. You know, things you have to do. You have to give it everything.
Yes.
And when you start taking yourself very seriously, I think you stop enjoying what you're doing. So.
Fantastic. Looking back on your incredible journey, what advice would you give to someone who dreams of entering the world of chocolate or embarking on their own food production adventure?
I think, you have to find a niche which you're passionate about.
Okay.
So don't do it because you think there is a scope in the market, so I need to get in. It's pure business. Do it because you feel for it. Do it because you're improving someone else's life. And how you do that, you'll have to figure out. But be true to yourself. No? At the end of the day, what you say is what you do. Don't have two different parts of what you say and what you do.
Okay.
But most important, are you the kind who loves to persevere through the ups and downs?
Yeah.
Everyone talks about entrepreneurship. Everyone sees the rosy side of entrepreneurship. No one sees the hard work which goes on at the back end. So are you willing to take that extra mile, those sleepless nights where you have to? It's not something which is going to just come up one day and...
So you're the person, the individual who's there to take these efforts, own it by yourself.
You have to own it.
Do it, yeah.
But at the same time, can you carry your team through this process?
Yes, very true.
You're going up and down. You can't get your team going up and down. The team has to be at least some... Yes. So how do you create that space? So I wouldn't advise anyone on anything if you ask me honestly. But if you feel passionate about starting a business and you want to do it, get the right mentor. Very important, because if you have the right mentor, they will be able to reduce the time that you make. Everyone asks me, everyone learns through mistakes. I say agree, but why do you want to repeat the mistakes that I have made already? So if you have a mentor, you have someone who's already there. The lead time, which probably for me was 10 years, maybe 2 years for you. You save 8 years, which is a lot of money, lot of time and money. So get a mentor. And people keep asking me about what should I call it? What should I say? All that is the last thing you should be thinking about. What you call it, etc. is. I keep using the word Apple to everyone. I said today everyone says Apple is such a big brand. If someone had just told you that I'm going to name something Apple, what would you have told them?
Yeah.
So you create the brand, right? You create the brand through communication.
Okay.
Not the name.
Very true. Yeah.
So yeah, something like that. But I would say the single most thing, if I have to advise someone, actually advise, would be to get a mentor.
Okay. Very nice. Who's experienced, who
will guide you. Who will guide you well. Who will guide you well.
Very
So you need a mentor. Otherwise, it just doesn't. Because we assume that we know everything. Today, I don't know anything. I keep telling everyone I'm still a blank slate. There's so much to learn. So many mistakes that we make on a day-to-day basis.
So your simplicity keeps you successful and active.
It's not just a simplicity. I think it's you need to be true to your roots.
Yes.
You need to be grounded. And you need to acknowledge your deficiencies. I'm not good at everything. I cannot be good at everything.
Okay.
So if you acknowledge that I'm not good at A, you will get someone better than you to do that.
Okay. Got it. Yeah.
So unless you're ready to accept that, how will you? So if I'm saying I'm not good at sales, if I'm not willing to accept it, I will never get someone in that job because I will say I'm good at it.
Okay.
Or if I say I'm good at finance, I will never get someone
to do the proper finance thing.
So you need to get people better than you. A. B. You need to be willing to listen to them.
Yes. Yeah.
Because when they are better than you, they will tell you
yeah.
things which you don't like to hear or you won't like to hear.
Okay.
Now, are you willing to listen to that?
Yes.
So are you willing to listen to someone telling you, listen, I know you're my boss and all that, but what you're saying is not right.
Yeah.
So can you accept that? It's a play of egos, right?
Yes.
Very easy to say. It's very easy to say, but
it's difficult to implement.
Difficult to implement, and that's why I think sport is a great level.
Yeah. That's true.
Sport has no ego. Because I remember when we were cycling London, Edinburgh, there was an actor with us.
Okay.
And a very famous actor. I don't want to name the person.
Okay.
He had to stand in line just like us for the bathrooms. There was no... and we were sitting and chatting. If he were elsewhere, the mob would have hounded him.
Oh, yeah.
But there he was such a great leveler, right?
Yeah.
And
I call it freedom. Right?
It's freedom, but for someone who's used to that kind of lifestyle or rush, when you're here where no one cares who you are, you want to take a plate, you eat and you sit and eat. And everyone's talking to you as you are a normal person.
Exactly.
Probably they love it that way.
Yeah.
So sport gives you this.
That what do you call that? Respect.
Yeah, because you win today, you lose tomorrow. Exactly. No, it's not that you win every day. It's like even when they say Sachin Tendulkar is great at cricket, the number of balls that he's missed is far higher than the number of balls he's touched.
So, that's a very good way to put it.
So you need to have that balance, and if you accept that, life is very simple. No? If you look at my WhatsApp thing, it's just joy amplified, life simplified. It's as simple as that. If I can live at least half to that. I'm very happy. So that's joy and simplicity, like you quoted. If I can get these two,
fantastic. Truly honored to have you here with us.
My pleasure. Absolute pleasure being here.
Thank you for your time also that you spent.
Thank you for having me here. I hope if I'm able to enable or motivate.
Yes, truly.
Even one person, I'm happy. As I keep saying, if I can change the life of one person, I've done my. So thank you so much for having me. Absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much. God bless you.